Good morning. This is Fellowship of Spirit coming to you from Farmington, New Mexico. And today is the 11th of August, 2024. It's a beautiful day here, warm and sunny, but not overly so. I think yesterday it only got up to about 84 or 5 in Aztec. It was just perfect, beautiful. We get little showers. It kind of cools things down. We couldn't ask for better weather. But we have a great program for you today. Susan Barnes is going to pray for us. Fred Brown is going to play music for us. And who's got the spiritual reading today? Steve Barker has our spiritual reading, and a special treat for you today, a speaker that we have not had before, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about him before he speaks as an introduction for him. But he has a very unusual and special name. His name is Ronald Holloway Jr. He is my son. And I'm just pleased as punch to have him here to speak to us and to share his things that he has for us. So without further ado, we're going to have our prelude. And what's the name of it, Fred?
Oh, I think it's in the book.
Maybe. It says to be announced on mine.
Yes, see that rainbow shine. I think it's in the.
No, I've got one. The music it says to be announced.
There's no.
He didn't.
Nothing printed. Is it in the binder in the essence? See that rainbow shine?
Whoa.
Oh, the was gone, the day was falling, and I thought that the day was done. Do you need to mute everybody?
Hold on. I don't know what that.
Somebody's phone is going off.
I don't know how. I'm not been so.
This 1, 2.
Everything just broke at one time.
Yeah.
And let me get his phone. There you
There, we're back in business.
go. The thing fell apart at one time. There you go. That's all.
Better off.
Oh, the dark was coming, the day was falling, and I thought that the day was done. But the rain kept raining, clouds kept rolling, road kept golden, and I see that rainbow shine. See that rainbow shine, and I see that rainbow shine. Way up beyond on the top of the mountain, see that rainbow shine. I was feeling so gloomy, so tired and so lonely, yes, I felt so lonely and alone. But the sun kept shining and the rain kept raining and the rain filled up my soul. And I see that rainbow shine, see that rainbow shine, yes, I see that rainbow shine. See that rainbow shine, with the rain on the top. See that rainbow shine. Oh, my friends on the road, and your life is too hard for you. Just keep your eyes on them changing skies and the light breaking on. And you see that rainbow shine, see that rainbow shine, yes, you see that rainbow shine, see that rainbow shine, way over yonder. See that rainbow shine, yes, see that rainbow shine, I see that rainbow shine, yes, I see that rainbow shine. See that rainbow shine, the way over yonder. Rainbow shine.
All right. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. Really?
Saw
Wow.
pictures of it on Facebook, so I just broke that out.
Ah, all right, that's great. Hey, we have a couple of announcements. Our state, our county fair is going to start tomorrow, and we have a booth out there that we're going to. Did you get all of the positions, all of the slots fixed, filled? Okay,
Jay and I are gonna cover the ones that we're not sure about.
okay. But if you have a little time and you're out, you want to go out to the fair and sit there.
We're out by the John Deere tractor.
He is-
John Deere tractor, look for us.
We're right by the John Deere Tractor Pavilion, so just come by and sit and represent Fellowship of Spirit as we try to promote ourselves to attract people, not to promote, but to attract other people. So
And we have free books, we have free rocks.
they have free books and free rocks. And these rocks are special rocks. They're not like the general rocks. They have wisdom on them. Right, right. So now we're going to have Susan Barnes from Belize is going to pray for us.
Good morning. It's such a beautiful morning here, and I hear it's a beautiful morning there. And it's just great to be alive.
It's low here.
Are you having difficulty hearing me?
It's not on the TV.
What's not on the TV?
The sound
audio is-
isn't on the TV.
It could be the.
No, plug it back in.
I am. I just resetting it.
It could
That has
be
not-
the settings.
No, let me go.
He's gonna make sure he,
Let's start over because we lost her.
Hold on.
Yeah, change it to the Sony. That should do it.
I think she's still.
Is that better?
Now can you hear me?
We
Yeah.
can hear you perfect.
Okay, great. So once again, good morning. Anyway, so a perfect day there, a perfect day here, and just perfect to be here within the church. So let's close our eyes, take a deep breath, and feel that energy as it comes through our head, down into our heart. Creator, Mother, Father, God, we give thanks for all the wonderful blessings that you have given to us. The ability to be here, whether it be on Zoom or in the flesh. We give thanks for the love and for the light that we can shine forth to other people. We ask that you be guided to help those who are going to be at the fair this week to have their light shine to others, that they might come to know what we are all about. We give thanks for our health, for our nourishment. We give thanks for our ability to see the positive in the most challenging situations, knowing that you are there always, walking beside us, guiding us. We take your hand, and we know that all is in divine order. We ask that you be with all those who cannot be here with us today, for all of those within our hearts, our families, our friends, for those who are in need of healing. For all of this, we ask that you be here, and we give thanks knowing that you are. So for all of this, namaste.
All right. Thank you, Susan. Now, I'm going to make a little bit of an apology here or an explanation in that we seemed a little bit disconnected today. Well, our old computer died. And so we have a brand new computer and we're just having a little configuration problems today, but we're easily solving them. And our sweet Shay has been just indispensable about helping me to get this done. So hopefully we've got them all ironed out and it'll go smoothly from here. We have another song from Fred Brown. So Fred, share with us what the name is, what the title
This is called Wonder. It's a lady named Natalie Merchant. Doctors have come from distant cities just to see me. Stand over my bed, just believing what they see, and they say I must be one of the wonders of God's own creation. And as far as they see, they can offer no explanation. Newspapers ask intimate questions on confessions. Reach into my head, the still glory of my story. They say I must be one of the wonders of God's own creation. And as far as they see, they can offer no explanation. They smile down destiny. Now, as my body she lifted, no, this child will be gifted. And with the child baby, no, this child will be able, with love and patience and with faith, she'll make a way, make a way. People see me, I'm a challenge, pick a balance. I'm over your head down. I confound you and found you. You know I must be one of the wonders God's own creation. And as far as you see, you can offer no explanation. Faith, smile down, destiny. Now as she came to my cradle, all this child will be able. And as she came to my mother, all this child will not suffer. That as my body she lifted, all this child will be gifted. With love and patience and faith, you'll find a way, find a way. You'll find a way. I'll find my way.
All right. Thank you, Fred. Thank you. All right. You know, just thinking we got an awful lot of good out of our old computer. Over the last 4 years, we have recorded over 200 sessions and programs. So now we have we're going to do our reflective moment. It's in the book. So love produces a flow of energy that I now feel, and I love others more than ever. I feel privileged to be here, and love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness. And so it is. Okay, so for Steve Barker as our spiritual reading list, interested to see what his topic is.
Yeah. Thank you. And this is going to be more of a coincidence when I show you the cover here.
The Daily Stoic.
Yeah, the Daily Stoic, and it was on our table, and Kate asked me to read today's reading out of it, so I did, and she said, "Well, why don't you take that for your reading?" And I said, "Well, it's kind of short, but that's okay." Instead, I'm also going to add a quote out of the beginning of the book by a fellow named Epictetus. I think that's the first time I've ever tried to pronounce his name right. Some old Roman or Greek guy.
Epictetus?
Epictetus. Is that what I said?
No.
Okay.
But
Well,
close.
yeah, I used to say Epictetus. I didn't see the T.
Yeah.
Anyway, so much for that. But he says, what is the fruit of these teachings? Only the most beautiful and proper harvest of the truly educated, tranquility, fearlessness, and freedom. We should not trust the masses who say that only the free can be educated, but rather that the lovers of wisdom who say that only the educated are free. Anyway, that's in the beginning of the book, and here's today's reading for August 11th. It's no time for theories, just results. When the problem arose for us whether habit or theory was better for getting virtue, if by theory is meant what teaches us correct conduct, and by habit we mean being accustomed to act according to this theory, Musonius, another person I don't know about, thought habit to be more effective. So cultivate those habits. And as Hamlet says, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. There is no time to chop logic over whether our theories are correct. We're dealing with the real world here. What matters is how you're going to deal with this situation right in front of you, and whether you're going to be able to move past it and on to the next one. That's not saying that anything goes, but we can't forget that although all the theories are clean and simple, situations rarely are. And that's something we're studying in our book study, is The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer, which helps navigate through all of this stuff. So thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Let's give Steve a hand. Thank you.
I think Steve should be teaching this instead of me.
So what do we have? Another song.
Be announced.
Another TBA. Really popular today.
Maybe as I am just like you, we're made of the same hand, born of the same land. Maybe as I am, 'cause I haven't said a word. The dreams I have are real. No matter how absurd. But life is just a wind, and some of us hold dear, gathered by a thread, held back by our fear. No matter where you're from, all that you can do, live in love, that's enough. Take me as I am. 'Cause I feel you in my heart. We share the same space. No matter how far apart. Take me as I am. I'm just like you. You're a part of me. I'm a part of you. Oh, why can't we just share all of this world? There is only those who dare to love. Meet me with a smile. I will be your friend. I'll care for you. Tell me that. Take me as I am, just like you. You're a part of me. I'm a part of you. Oh, don't take away my life. We're made of the same sky. We share the same truth. Way too many years. Take me as I am.
Thank you, Fred.
No.
Good song, yes. How's the volume out there in Zoom land? Can you guys hear us? Is it too loud or?
It's not too loud. It kind of goes on and off. It's very disconnected.
Disconnected.
Might tell Fred that we're not picking up any notes from his guitar out here in Zoom land.
You're not hearing his guitar?
No,
We can hear him.
we can hear him, but not his guitar.
I'll be darned. Maybe, I don't know if that's different, Willis. I probably should have had that over here because this is for the Zoom people.
Is it set on that?
No.
Or is it set on the one in the
No.
TV? I mean,
No, the TV
laptop.
doesn't have a microphone.
The laptop. Thought that would explain because it's facing you, facing away.
No, I think,
There it is.
is that better?
Is that louder? Is it louder?
We play it to note on his guitar and maybe we can hear it.
Here we go.
How's that?
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear
Is that better? So we changed some of the things, right, to adjust to get all of our configurations different. Okay, we're gonna go on with it, so I know the speaker today very, very well. He, like I said, he is my son. He's had I think, a successful, exciting life. He joined the military right after high school, and went to training to become a an intelligence person. I don't know, he didn't make an officer, but he was an intelligence person and served in the Army Intelligence Corps. Then he got out of the military and used the GI Bill to go to college. He went to college, and then he was just out looking kind of for a job. I think he was working as a hotel guy when 9/11 happened. And they were asking for people of his training to come back in for the war on terrorism. And then he spent the next 20 years working for various, for mostly for the State Department. And he retired a few years ago from the State Department. And about 4 years ago, I think now. And he had a successful time at doing that. He's been in business. He's been getting a business going as a coach, a life coach for online and for in person. And he moved from Virginia to Allen, Texas, which is just north of Fort Worth and Dallas. And he's my only son, but I'll tell you what, he's my special one. I love him to death, and you're going to too. So let me introduce Ron Holloway Jr.
Hey, everyone. Well, thank you for having me here today and allowing me to talk in front of such a sage group. I hope I don't embarrass myself or my dad, who's having his 72,000th birthday today. Wait, I think I added some zeros. I'm a more verbal linguistic than math guy. So the zeros might be off. 73?
3.
Okay. I always base it on my age. I'm 50, so I figure you're 22 years older, but yeah.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And yesterday I have two kids, 19 and 21. They're everything to me. I'm married. My wife's Japanese. So we have some cross-cultural stuff going on. It forms my worldview. And like my dad said, I joined the military at 17. I was a human intelligence collector, so making friends and influencing people. And I went into the State Department at 29, having applied while I was still in the military. And I was a special agent for 12 years, foreign affairs officer for 7, and a senior advisor for 10 months. And I didn't retire. I was defunded. And I'll get into a little bit about that because it's kind of a pivotal application of Stoicism in my life. And to get to that, uh, my dad asked me to do this talk. He didn't tell me there was money involved because I think it's because his name's also on the check. Um, but when he asked me for a title, I was struggling to sleep one night. About 2 in the morning, I texted him, and it was Meditations on My Nightstand. And I know in you guys' brochure it comes up as Stoicism, but that is such a broad topic, and there's so much academic to it that I can't speak to, that I want to speak to why it's on my nightstand. Meditations being Marcus Aurelius's meditations, uh, 482 aphorisms that he wrote down over. I don't remember how long that he served as the emperor of the Roman Empire, but he's known as one of the last great emperors. And his book has been read by just about every leader in the world you can think of, from Frederick the Great to General Mattis to people today. And earlier I heard someone mention virtues and Western virtues, and you'll find that many of those virtues that he proposed, that he was a proponent of, you still see today. And you probably talk about them all the time throughout the various books and thought practices that you go through. So this talk is really it's stoicism in my life in the pragmatic sense to help me deal with overcoming obstacles. I am on the bipolar spectrum. That's a spectrum. I have suffered with the ups and downs. I have dealt with the anxiety and still manage it. And meditations is a big part of that. So on my nightstand, I have meditations. And I often, when I'm in a space, when it's hard to sleep or when I'm feeling ill, that's where I go, is to read the aphorisms that I have dog-eared and highlighted. And my second copy of meditations, this one being The Emperor's Handbook, which I recommend. It's written in plain speak rather than a lot of these and thous. Uh, but yeah, I'm going to get into my background a little bit. In that in 2011, I was hospitalized. I didn't know I had this underlying condition, the positive aspects of it. However, I'd been under so much stress through my military and my time as a special agent that it was kind of a cumulative buildup and finally a break. And I ended up hospitalized, pretty impaired. And my dad was there for me gratefully with his wisdom. Uh, but I made that intentional decision, and we talked about it, you guys talked about intent earlier, to rebuild myself better than I was, rather than being the statistic of 30% committing suicide and 60 to 70% with drug and alcohol problems. I had a sense of duty to provide for my family, even under the worst of situations, and I wanted all the tools I could find, and I had to change so much about myself. I had to deal with psychology, the thoughts that I was having. So it was Viktor Frankl and Man's Search for Meaning, and it was cognitive behavioral therapy, that relationship between our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. I needed to change the way I saw the world. So it was philosophy, mostly Marcus Aurelius. I had to deal with the physical aspects of the illness, this mind body thing we talk about on the biological level. So I studied physiology and the body under distress. And there are no atheists in foxholes. So I did have to tap into that which is greater than us and put this clock that's the universe in motion. In so doing, I had to memorize certain passages from Marcus Aurelius's meditations. Again, being pragmatic, combining it with logotherapy and this idea of between stimulus and reaction, there's a moment. And in that moment is your freedom to choose. And because I was having anxiety, I was still working in counterterrorism. That moment between stimulus and reaction was all the time. And I wanted to train myself so that my subconscious kicked out the right thought as opposed to the oh crap thought. And a big one being that, you know, we look at acceptance and straight from meditations is in any ill that befalls you, turn to yourself and ask, how do I turn this to my advantage? That's also the basis of my business now. I coach executives on anti-fragility and being ready for all this craziness in the world, uh, potential wars and famines and how you lead through that. And it's all informed by Marcus Aurelius. So that's a little bit about me and my relationship to this school of thought. And I'll get into it into Stoicism a little better in terms of just the academic side of it and kind of the major tenets that you will all find that you've seen in many places whether it's an Eastern thought, they came up to it on their own, or through biblical times. Stoicism precedes Christianity by about 300 years. The core principles is that one, virtue is the highest good. And they believe that living a life of virtue is the ultimate path to happiness and fulfillment. And that these virtues consist of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. All things that have helped me survive to a young 50 years old that I still struggle with, particularly wisdom and temperance, because I love to eat. So, uh, another one you all know from the Serenity Prayer, focus on what you can control. So one of the most profound teaching of Stoicism is that dichotomy of control, is that we should focus our thoughts and actions things we can control and let go of what is beyond our control. And we even see that in modern times, repackaged, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Circle of Control, Ourselves, Circle of Influence, and then Circle of Concern. All that stuff going on around us externally we will go mad if we try to control it. Next virtue, emotional resilience. They teach us to maintain our emotional stability and encourages rational thinking to avoid being overwhelmed by our irrational fears and passions. And many people will think of the Stoics like they will think that it's Mr. Spock from Star Trek. However, it's not an abolition of emotion rather than a domestication of emotion, as we need both, obviously. And then acceptance of fate. They have a term, amor fati, love your fate. And the idea of loving one's fate is central to Stoicism. And I think it goes back in relationship to that idea of focusing on what we can control. Some things are set. And it teaches us to embrace whatever life brings, good or bad, as part of a greater plan. And those are the major virtues. Stoics aren't people who stand in the rain like a cow chewing cud, unaffected. It is that how do we develop ourselves? I think it was through Steve said of how do we, what was he said? How do we embrace and adapt to these changes that come? And like the Stoics said, turn it to our advantage so that we can live better lives. I said that for me, it's a pragmatic approach, and Steve talked about the pragmatism of Stoicism, and it's really what it is, because I have to have a tactical approach. I have to have the right thoughts, the right life, the right intentions, and they're all informed by this book. Hence, I have meditations on my nightstand. So those are your major virtues. I don't think it's anything anyone hasn't heard before, but it's put so succinctly and beautifully in meditations that you'll want to memorize them. Just as some people will memorize passages from the Bible, I memorize these aphorisms, again, because of that stimulus reaction relationship, in that I really don't want to have, oh crap, when I'm defunded to pop through my head. And I was defunded, I was teaching about Benghazi from the standpoint of Ambassador Stevens' own role in being there, and that wasn't the narrative they were pushing. And one day I came out of a meeting, and the contract company I was with told me, due to COVID budget cuts, I've been defunded. Now, that's one of the hardest hits a person can have, is losing a job, particularly at 47, with what were little kids at the time, and having gone through everything I'd gone through to rebuild myself. However, as he was nervous telling me I was getting more calm. One of the hardest hits we get is losing that job. And then between stimulus and reaction was Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. Again, in any ill that befalls you, turn to yourself and ask, how do I turn this to my advantage? And the impediment to action advances action. The obstacle in the way becomes the way. So at 47, we started over. I sold my house. We drove to Texas like pioneers in a big suburban, and I launched a new life, adapting to this new reality, adapting to change. And that's where I am today. Uh, Again, I'm not an academic of this stuff. I'm a practitioner. And those are the things that I got from it. And if I were pass on any benefits to picking up these books, The Daily Stoic or The Emperor's Handbook, it is that it complements most of the stuff it seems you guys do already. Uh, that's my basic talk. Uh, I'd like to open it up to conversation and facilitation of the conversation, as opposed to me droning on monotone and hopefully not sounding too condescending because, like I explained to people, I don't mansplain, I ronsplain. I do it to guys and women equally.
I have a question, Ron.
Want to come up here, please? So everyone.
Good morning, Ron. It's nice to meet you. I'm
Nice to
Kate.
meet you too. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. When Ron first started talking about you had the breakdown, he shared that with us. And he also shared that you started out with The Power of Now, the book, The Power of Now. Could you talk to us a little bit about how that book helped you through?
Yeah,
Very
actually,
nice to
I
meet you.
grabbed the 3 books on my nightstand that I go to. So the first that introduced me to Stoicism is this book here, Deep Survival, Who Lives, Who Dies, and Why, and how it is really the triumph of reason over emotion during crisis that saves you. And it's not a book, while it's full of survival stories. You have someone say that?
No, we just had a request from the pews there about wanting you to repeat the title of the book. She didn't.
Oh, yeah. It's Deep Survival, Who Lives, Who Dies, and Why by Lawrence Gonzalez. And I don't know how closely you were able to see my copy, but I traveled the world with it because I knew if I anything ever happened, this is what I wanted to have more than something to start a fire with or build shelter, because this is truly the most important part of your survival. And this book got into Admiral James Stockdale. Many of you remember him. I think he ran alongside Ross Perot back in the day as his vice president. Uh, but Stockdale credited his survival in the Hanoi Hilton for 7 years as a senior officer to his studies of Stoicism back in Stanford. So this introduced me to a lot of thoughts. One of the big principles is be here now and not let your mind get too far ahead of you, which led to the Emperor's Handbook, but also led to who my dad introduced me to, which is also here at hand. You'll recognize that book, The Power of Now.
Oh, yeah.
Eckhart Tolle. Many of the things from Stoicism are reflected here. I also take great comfort in this book, again, shaping my worldview, complementing the other things I learn, and then also, well, 2 things, dealing with that pain body and the ego. It runs in the family. No. And staying present, because that's the only time that really exists is the present moment. I hope that answers your question on Power of Now.
Thanks, Ron.
Kate says thanks. Well, Ron, I've noticed that in my brief, very peripheral exposure to Stoicism, that Stoicism and those early writings, those early philosophies have actually influenced all of philosophy in all cultures from that time till now. All of the people that we revere base their philosophies and their view of life on those early writings. And it's even Freemasonry, which I'm into. From the beginning in Freemasonry, we are taught about the virtues being temperance, fortitude, justice, and prudence. All of those four virtues, that we get our virtues from which is the basis for our civilization, actually. Without those virtues, that we just devolve into chaos and we have no civilization. So so that's and I know that not only will they influence the individual's life and make a better life, but it will make a better civilization, a better culture, a better environment for individuals to progress and into more spiritual awareness, which is, I think, why we're here.
Yeah, and I didn't speak to the spiritual side of it, but there is that. This isn't purely logical, only philosophy and thinking. It is our relationship to that which is greater than us. And there's another aphorism that I like to go to, and it is either I am a mindless binding and loosing of atoms in a random universe with no meaning, or there is something greater at play, and I'm more than this physical body. And if the former is true, what's the point of continuing to live? However, if it's the latter, I worship that which is greater than I. And I think you'll find that everywhere is that case. And you hit on Eastern thought and Western thought. I don't know to what degree it influenced Eastern thought. However, the wisdom of the ages from all kinds of emperors and philosophers have come to kind of the same conclusions, even Zen Buddhism.
Okay, so Ron Jr., I would say I understand why your dad is so proud of you. You really have covered the gamut of emotions and come out at the top of the game. I would be very proud of you too.
Thank you.
Hope that you can just follow in your own way your dad's footsteps, because you just really sound really incredible. Thank you for sharing everything that you did. And all of the stuff you're talking about sounds very Gnostic to me, which of course I also, like your dad, am part of Freemasonry. And it's very hermetic. So I'm really glad that you found it, because that's what's going to get you through everything.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
I think at the end of the day, it's wisdom that gets us through everything in that path to it. And it's wisdom that got me out of trouble, and hopefully wisdom that'll keep me out of trouble. Oh, and as far as my dad being proud of me, if you knew all my faults, you might not say that. I snore horribly, and I'm quite a mean guy.
I can't believe that he would not be proud of you. You're just.
I know all about you, and I'm still proud of you.
Yeah.
You better be, Ron. All I can say
am.
is you've got a pretty incredible son. And thank you for sharing him with us.
Yeah. I'm really glad that he has decided to come to us today and to share those things with us briefly. He has obviously not enough time or breath here to dive into these things individually, deeply, but he introduced us to a lot of stuff, enough for us to know that his philosophy and experience is pretty much almost in harmony with ours. That is a lot that the fellowship, what we try to cultivate and learn, just even talking about our book that we're studying right now, Wayne Dyer's intention, the power of intention, actually is based on those Stoicism principles that talks about intention. He uses intention almost interchangeable with God or the spiritual realm, that if we can through discipline align ourselves with the intention of the universe, which is for our benefit, then our lives will be better, that we will be more functional, that we will make better decisions, and that those sorts of things. And it's all about being practical. That's what I like about these things, because for me, spirituality and these things are not woo-woo stuff, that they are actually, if they're not practical and usable in my life today, that they're probably of the ego and not about spirit or about God. So that's what I think. And I think Ron's brought us some really neat stuff today. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to share?
Just like to thank him, because all the things he said were very meaningful and reassuring, and things I'm aware of. It's nice to hear a person much younger.
Come up here. Come up here and tell me. This is Nancy.
Yes, yes. I was pleased also that you brought up the 7 habits of highly effective people, because I've seen how that goes into all of this for years, and such good stuff. And there's so many things out there that we can attach ourselves to if we're inclined. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And I hope you'll pick up this Emperor's Handbook and check it out, because these aphorisms are great conversation starters. They're
Absolutely.
good prompts.
Okay. Well, thank you. And if you don't get your check by the end of the year, you'll know I spent it. So.
Well, if that happens, I'll break your legs again.
Okay. All right, son. We love you.
Right.
And we'll
Thanks,
see you
guys.
later.
Bye.
And don't run away. We got some more left to go, but
Oh, okay.
if
Well,
you
I'll
have
just put it
time.
on mute.
Thank you so much. You're getting a really heavy applause here.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
if you
thanks,
can hear
guys. Thank you.
it. You have something
It'll
to say?
all go to my ego
Okay,
and pain
yeah.
body.
Steve.
Yeah. Also, Ron, it was a pleasure listening to you, and I hope you come back and speak some more.
Oh, thank
Yep,
you.
it'd be good.
Yeah,
I'll have to see how much you pay.
Yeah.
Same amount, as long as your dad don't get to it.
Yeah, at least it's not
Yeah.
wine and oil. So,
No, I'd be happy
okay.
to.
All right, thanks, son. Hang on
Yep.
there.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. Okay, here we go now. Fred's got another song. Here we
Is
go.
it my turn or is it?
It's your turn.
Or is it, do we do the offering or what do we do?
No, we do a song
For the
first.
song or?
Yeah, that's what my list says.
Ah. Let's see. Kind and generous. You've been so kind and generous. I don't know how you keep on giving. For your kindness, I've been dead to you. For your selflessness, my admiration. And for everything you've done, you know I'm bound. I'm bound to thank you for it. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. You've been so kind and I don't know how you keep on getting down. For your kindness, I'm indebted to. And I never would have come this far without you. And for everything you've done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna thank you for all the gifts you gave, love and tenderness. I wanna thank you, 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 thank you. I wanna thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you, 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 thank you. I wanna thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, oh, thank you. You've been so kind and generous.
Thank you, Fred. As usual, your presentation was wonderful. What happened?
Hey, Dad, can I
Side cable.
say one more thing?
Did you come back? No.
We're having fun now. Well, maybe it's this one.
No, it's over here on this. It's in the configuration.
Oh, it switched again?
Yeah. And this is Windows 11 and it's different. Besides that, we're doing screens that are,
Happy birthday. There you go.
I'm not sure.
I was wouldn't worry about it.
Anyway, we're almost done, so, anyways. It's only for the people here and you can all see, you got to see Ron, and that's the most important thing that we had to do today. So now we're going to share our abundance. So if you will take out that which you intend to contribute. Put it over your heart and repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive through infinity. I am prosperous. All right. Recording is a wonderful thing because it captures all of the beauty of our presentation, but it also captures all of our boo-boos, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Dad, can I make a shameless
Ron, we want to
plug?
thank you again for coming to us and giving us, a very, very good timely message. Also, we have no children today. They're all out playing still. It's summertime and they got back to school this week, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Anyway, they're gone, they're not here. We don't know where they are, but we know that they're with their parents and they're safe and having fun, so. All right, so are there any announcements?
No, only the fair.
Okay, we only,
See us if you can.
only at the fair. If you're out at the fair, come back and come by and see the people there. It's too far for me to walk, so I won't be there, but I'll be there in spirit. Okay, so Bill Clark is coming to us for our closing message.
Hey, Bill.
We got a cheering section back there. That's
Yeah.
good. Good morning,
Always
everyone.
good to have those.
Unshakable peace. If you do not find peace in yourself, you'll never find it anywhere else. Paula A. Bendry. By definition, inner peace is a state of rest, unshakable by external circumstances. We may look for peace by trying to make our surroundings more pleasant.
Not even on.
But if we are in a peaceful room or moment, it's likely we are not experiencing internal peace so much as contentment with what is around us. The hallmark of peace is its existence in the middle of a frustrating or frightening situation. Once we've learned that real peace, we are able to enter into that stage a little bit more easily the next time a tricky challenge arises, where we have the ability to appreciate the content moments even more. The walkaway is, I am grateful for the chance to practice unshakable peace. I guess what it's really saying is that when you're faced with challenges and things like that, try to stay centered. It matches up with what we heard this morning on our talk. God bless and everybody have a great week.
It always amazes me, Bill, how all of our talks are, from our opening prayer through your talk, they are all synchronized. They're all work together to make a tapestry of a message, and I think that's wonderful. Thank you, Bill.
I need to say something. I want to say something about Steve, and he's going through one of the hardest things I think a person can go through with owning a business. And he has taught me, he may not be able to say that he is right, his name, or know who he is, but he practices. And you taught me are courage and unity.
Mhm.
I just want to thank you.
Thank
Say that. Now you have to go take out the carpet.
Thank you. Thank you. Now get back to work. All right, so now we're all gonna join a circle and we're going to, did you not get your phone working or no?
Well, you don't have that, so I think you do, do you?
No, well,
Of what?
no.
I do have the phone working, but
Okay.
do this.
All right, so here we
Put your
go.
phone down.
Higher.
Somebody else.
There you go.
Whoa, who was?
1, 2, 3. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide we fall. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together. Weave us together in unity and yes, there is peace on earth. And yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. with God as our power. Thankfully all are we. So let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And may God bless you and keep you until we meet again.
Yes.
Namaste.
And we're gonna take Ron out for lunch if he'll accept.
No, he's.
I have, I'm already booked.
Maybe next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Next time.
I'm done with it. Thank you. So Ron, oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
He's still there?
yeah. He's still
Hang
there.
on a second. I want to ask.
Oh, he wants to ask you a question. Steve does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I
Well,
do a
that's our-
shameless plug for
That's
my
our
book
program,
real
Ron.
quick?
Pretty much the same format and procedure every week. We just have a different speaker every time. We find that variety is a spice of life. So
Do you have this book?
Oh, okay.
I don't, but I have his other book,
Not hearing him.
Ryan Holiday.
are you muted,
I
Ron?
think he mentioned it.
No, it's
You're gonna.
flipping.
No, I'm not muted.
Huh?
Unless I'm muted on my. How about now?
He can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Yeah, hold on.
Maybe you muted me.
Say it, try now.
Hello?
Here, hang on, I got a easy solution.
Can I just unplug that?
Try that.
Should just-
Is it working now, Ron? Can you say something?
Hello?
He's not working. Not getting his voice.
Speakers didn't switch.
Well, anyway, not if you have it, say no. You don't. Okay, well, one is coming in the mail for you, okay?
I don't know what happened.
Maybe you muted me?
My microphone. But we can't hear you, Ron.
Huh.
Wait a minute, say something now.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. So I was going to make a shameless plug for the book I wrote. I forgot about that.
Oh, he forgot. He wrote a book.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So go ahead.
It's
Steve, you can-
Anti-Fragility.
What is it?
Anti-Fragility, 10 Principles for Life to Turn Crisis into Opportunity. And it's available on Amazon for download.
Okay, so the name of it is Fragility.
Anti-Fragility.
Anti-fragility.
Anti-fragility. So that's your
And I
book.
put it over here in the chat area.
Oh,
Okay.
we got it.
Okay. Yeah, Anti-Fragility, 10 Principles for Life to Turn Crisis into Opportunity.
There you go. All right. So that's great. Yeah. Well, we appreciate it. You have a great day.
You too.
I'm off to another party. My next door neighbor is giving me a birthday party. It's never happened before, but we're looking forward to it. Steve and Kate also wanted to take me out to lunch, but I was already booked. So anyway.
They're probably going to put you on a piece of ice and float you out in the ocean like the Inuit.
Maybe. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, son. I really had it
Yeah.
really good. Hope that you come back, even if you're not speaking, you're always welcome. We
Yeah,
always
it
meet
was fun.
on at 10 o'clock our time, which would be 11 o'clock your time on Sunday.
Okay.
And we do
Same link?
the book study starts at 8:45 our time. Right now, we're
Okay.
reading and discussing power of intention, and most of the people, whatever book we're studying, they download the PDF for free somewhere. I don't know
Okay.
where they get them, but they do. But we've done, Eric told me, and we've done almost everybody out there. We did Power of Now, and we just, you're welcome to the book study or the message anytime that you want to come. We would love to have you. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Well, you kiss my grandkids and my daughter-in-law, and take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Okay.
Yeah. Later.